Hi, today I'll be talking to you about investing money, in particular using a prepared table to calculate final amounts and interest. Here's a prepared table. So what this means is if you have $1 and you invest it at the given interest rate for the given number of periods, you will earn that much at the end. This is calculated using compound interest and excuse me. This is helpful for calculating the future values of loans and investments. So to use it, you need to determine the time period and rate of interest. Don't forget, if you have it for 6% and it's compounded monthly, you're going to have to divide by 12 to get this rate, and you're going to have to multiply your number of years by 12 to get the number of months. Things like that. Small things like that is where you're most likely going to make a mistake. Find the intersection of the time period and the rate of interest in the table, which means using your rate of interest and the time period, figure out where they meet. Then you multiply the number in the intersection, so one of these numbers, with the amount of money invested, because this number here only applies to $1. So if you invest $100, you're going to have this times by 100. Here's an example. The table below shows the future value when $1 is invested at the given interest rate for the given number of periods. The interest is compounded per period. So here's the given table, the prepared table, and the interest rates given are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and your periods here are 3 and 4. Now we're going to use this table to answer these questions on the bottom. Part A here says if you have $20,000 at the end of 4 years, at 10% per annum interest compounded annually, we need to find the principal. What was invested so that at 10% compounded annually, what would you, that you get $20,000 at the end of 4 years. So our intersection value, 10%, 4 years, 1.4641. And remember that our amount should be the intersection value multiplied by the principal. The intersection value multiplied by the principal. Our final amount, or our future amount, was $20,000. Our intersection value was 1.4641 and multiplied by our principal. In the calculator, if we divide $20,000 by 1.4641, we will end up with $13,660. So if you invested $13,660 for 4 years at 10% compounded annually, you will end up with $20,000. That was part A. Part B here. If you ended up with $80,000 at the end of 3 years at 20% per annum. 20% per annum, and 3 years is here, so our intersection value is 1.7280. We are going to follow the same idea. So our amount is our intersection value, which I'll just use IV, multiplied by our principal. So our amount this time was $80,000. The intersection value was 1.7280. And our principal is what we are trying to find. Rearranging this equation, we're going to divide 80,000 by 1.7280. And what we'll get in the calculator is $46,296. So if you invested $46,296 for 3 years at 20% per annum, you would end up with $80,000. Moving on to part C, we want to end up with $1 million at the end of 4 years at 15% per annum. So using the same formula, our amount is equal to the intersection value multiplied by the principal. Our amount here is 1 million. Our intersection value, was 15% at 4 years, 1.7490. And we are multiplying by our principal. Just as we did in the other questions, we're going to divide our final amount by the intersection value. And in the calculator, we should end up with $571,755. For part D, when you have 3 years at 5% interest compounded annually, you want $650,000. So our intersection at 5%, 3 years is 1.1576. Using the same formula, the final amount will be our intersection value multiplied by the principal. So our $650,000 is going to be our intersection value of 1.1576 multiplied by our principal. We are going to rearrange this in the same way as the previous ones, where you have the final amount divided by the intersection value. On the calculator, you should end up with $561,507.